I'm fat.
I'm also pretty fat.
No, like I picked up weight. I was losing weight for a while, and I recently picked it up a bunch.
I did too. Cause I got super depressed, and then I got happy again.
Same.
Isn't it funny that like being super depressed you gain weight, and then being happy again you gain weight also? It's just I need a middle ground where I'm like every other day I want to kill myself. That's the perfect weight.
I go back and mine is just because of my ADHD. Like I either forget to eat for 2 months and then I'm losing weight, or like I'm stressed, so I'm stimulation eating. Like I'm only eating my favorite foods.
Yeah.
All my favorite foods have like fat in them.
My favorite foods are fat. I'll eat lard.
Straight lard.
Like it was queso fresco. Just crumble off a piece and eat it. Are we recording? Mm-hmm. Fuck.
Queso Crisco.
Poquito, poquito, poquito podcast. Poquito, poquito, poquito podcast. Poquito, poquito, poquito podcast.
I be going through them depression, happiness cycles too, though, dude.
Yeah.
And eating the whole time. That's why I laughed so hard at what you said. That's so funny. Of like, I'm sad, dude. I'm gonna grieve with eating, and then you're like, I'm feeling a lot better.
I'm happy.
I'm treating myself.
Yeah,
too,
I gotta eat.
Yeah.
Christian themed buffet, Garden of Eden.
May we break bread for the table? Is that anything? Just the only drink that they have is Split the Big Red, but it's just this is the whole episode. It's just us building a business plan for Garden of Eden.
I was thinking of a waiter comes up and he's like, "I'll be your waiter. I'll be your server, Eve. I'm not allowed to go by Steve."
Why not Adam? Okay, it's fine.
Because his name was Steve.
They like stick to the theme so hard. There's only 2 servers, and one's Adam and one's
Eve. Dude, they're fucking overrun too
by snakes.
Oh my god, yeah. You can order whatever you want, but you get 2 of everything. You bring it on the ark.
You can order whatever you want except the apple.
Except the apple. That
I swear to God, if you order the apple, I'll be so pissed.
You can't get it. I don't know why we have it. We do have it.
Now you got to eat outside.
But Eve will give it to you though. Eve will be like, "You want the apple?"
Well, I'm sorry. One customer ate the apple, so now everyone has to pay a bill. Before that, it was free.
Everyone who comes in has to pay a tax on that apple. It's been an interesting couple of years for me because you already knew this when we lived together, but I have ADHD and autism, and I've been learning more about that because I used to think I got depressive episodes. Turned out it was there's a term for it, but it was like a mania.
Yeah, manic episodes and manic. Do you think you're manic depressive, like bipolar?
No. Well, okay, so I have to be specific because I don't want to construe things. I don't think I'm bipolar, but there is a thing with ADHD where there's a lot of intense like stimulation highs that are followed by serotonin drops.
Yeah.
Like I'm so involved in the thing I'm enjoying that my body runs out of dopamine and serotonin, and then I'm like deficient. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say there is one thing we forgot since you took such a hard pause. We have to intro the guest.
Oh yeah.
That's what we forgot to do.
I knew there was something.
Yeah.
Well, You can continue what you're saying if you want to cut into it. How much editing do you do?
I do. I edit.
You like edit? Okay. Yeah.
I chop shit
I
up.
dabble.
We could do it. Here, I got it. So you were talking about there's a ADHD thing where you basically get so much stimulus that you overdose on the serotonin from the things you enjoy.
Not overdose, but like yeah. By the way, this is Armando.
Hi, my name is Armando Torres. Ryan and I have been friends for years. We used to live together, as we alluded to, for a short minute. For like a year, I think.
I think almost a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah. It was really fun. Yeah, I also have ADHD, and like I have like manic depression or whatever, and I'll go through phases where like sometimes I'm like the highest highs that I'll have ever experienced and the lowest lows too.
Yeah.
And like I didn't realize that I was like, I probably shouldn't say it like this, but I didn't realize I was a crazy person until the pandemic happened, until like
I feel like that was like an awakening for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was, because before that I would have like highs and manic phases where I would become obsessed with like random shit. Like recently it's
like
been
hyperfocus.
Yeah. Like poker. Poker was huge for me this year. I got obsessed with poker, not playing it, but like watching it. Like I learned about professional poker players, and like there's a guy named Tony G, and he's just like this crazy poker player. Did you also have this same thing where you just got really...
I just happen to know who Tony G is.
Tony G rocks, and I like watching him play Phil Hellmuth, and these are just two poker players. And also apologies to everyone, because now you know what it's like to be friends with me, where I just show up to a party one day and I'm like, bro, let me tell you all about poker. This shit's crazy. And they're like, oh, have you been playing? And you're like, no, I just watch it. I watch old 2011 videos of people playing poker against each other.
So are y'all like super good at poker?
No, I suck at it. No, I'm fucking dog shit. I'll lose $60 at a home game.
I am like good in the sense of like on average I will make more than I lose. Like if we play multiple games, I will make out good, and then I'll play poker. No, like I do well, but I mostly only play with like family, so it's also hard to gauge.
I'll play with friends, and when I do play actual home games, I'll do okay. And I have done better since I started getting obsessed with poker, because you like sort of pick up on little things. Yeah. I'll do okay. It's also like straight up, other than home games, I have no interest in gambling, which is why I think it's so funny. Like I think gambling is stupid. I think it's like a dumb... I don't care. If you get joy from it, go for it. And if I go to Vegas or something, I'll be like, I have $50 to spend on gambling, and after I'm done with that, like it's over. It's done. And if I lose that 50, I'm not mad about it. I don't care. So like gambling is, to me, I don't get joy from it, so I don't really... care about it. I just think it's so interesting, like
from like a technical standpoint.
Yeah, or like the way that people make money off of poker, like as professional poker players, is just kind of interesting. And this is again an example of like a thing that I spent a bunch of time learning about. And then there's a flip side of it where like during the pandemic, I found out about this preacher who once took a picture with Donald Trump, and like I spent like 3 days not sleeping and looking into this guy, and was like completely convinced that his church was serving as like a laundering facility for like Trump's illegal money. So my girlfriend at the time was like, I think you're a crazy person. And I was like, I'm not crazy. He's evil. We have to kill him. And then I had to go see a therapist for a while. Yeah. So like I do that. That sucks that my brain will do that. The like phases of like hypermania.
Yeah.
It's great for getting work done when you hyper focus on a thing you need to do, and it's terrible when your brain tricks you into thinking that everything's terrible.
I feel like when it comes to people with ADHD, it can only work if you don't realize you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because so many people I've talked to, where I'm usually like the glass shatter of them finding out that they have ADHD, because I talk about myself a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I'll point something out I used to do, and they're like, fuck, I do that. Now they can't do it anymore because they know that it's bad for them.
Sure.
So they're like more aware of like how much it hurts to do that. Like the constant headaches and the like fatigue and the dehydration. I think people aren't aware of how much they're physically being affected when they hyperfocus.
Yeah. I think it's, I did a terrible thing to my brain, which is, what is it? My therapist said that I had weaponized my ADHD, and the way that my brain works is like I can, most of the time, I would say, I mean, numbers are fucking figment of imagination, but I would say like roughly 80% of the time I can force my brain to hyper focus on a task that I want it to, and then I get really interested in that. 20% of the time I can't do that, and then I can't work at all because I'm obsessed with, I'm looking up like Phil Hellmuth height or whatever, you know, like stupid shit. But 80% of the time I can make my brain do that, and it's just because when I was younger, I got diagnosed with ADHD, and they gave me these drugs for it.
Lucky.
I know, but the problem is that like I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about medicine, and this could be completely wrong. And if it is, I'm sorry, but my understanding is they couldn't give me normal like Ritalin or Adderall because the dose that my big ass would need could kill a man.
That makes sense.
And so
Because they're like amphetamines.
Yeah, they're meth, and I couldn't get that, so instead they put me on Wellbutrin, which is like a what do you call it, like an antidepressant, right?
Yeah, they tried to put me on Wellbutrin, but that should give me mood swings.
Yeah, it made me want to die, and it's even funnier to be like, maybe not funnier. Again, I'm sorry. It's funny to me to be like 12 and suicidal, like thinking back on it, because like it's just a chemical thing. But I was 12 years old, like I don't want to be around anymore, and it's like, you're 12. What are you talking about? What did you have, like a bad math quiz? I had nothing to actually be upset about, and that shows you it's like the biochemistry or whatever in your brain. Right. For me, it was like there was nothing.
Mine was a little different. Because I was also taking sertraline, which is like formulated like serotonin tablets. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get depressed, but I'd get like aggressive mood swings. Mm-hmm. But I think also because I was a big kid and I was small, but I was fat. It affected like my T levels. So instead of being like an aggro like dude all the time, I kind of would just get like really bitchy.
I also had drugs that I didn't like when I was a kid, and eventually what I did was I told my mom, like, I don't want to take these anymore. Like, they make me feel really bad. Yeah. And then instead of doing anything with any kind of like drugs or therapy or meditation or anything, I just kind of raw dogged mental illness for a good like 15 years or so. And then I used the way that my brain worked to try to like get better at doing certain things. And like, I don't know, you probably have the same thing, right? Where like you're saying something, but your brain's thinking about the next thing that you're doing. And then also like part of your brain's over here doing its own shit. And then like the other. So like I'm using that, but they're all kind of working towards like when we do comedy, like on stage, I'm like telling the joke, remembering the joke, writing a fucking callback for the joke, trying to see how the audience is doing. And so like I use my ADHD, or used it in my brain as how I tried to make sense of it, to try to like do that. Yeah. And I told this to my therapist, and they were like, that's awful. Like you shouldn't, that's not, you're like hyper focusing, but like all the time. And I was like, yeah, it's awesome. And they were like, that sounds exhausting. What do you do? You're just running on like all cylinders at all times. And I'm like, yeah, you just do that for a couple days. You never sleep. You eat like shit. You need nicotine. And then eventually you crash out. And then you sleep for like 2 days. And then you're good. And they were like, that's bad.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot. I developed like insomnia like before middle school.
Yeah, Ryan and I, as we've alluded to many times, we lived together, and we lived with what I would call a curtain of a wall between us. And it was really funny because we both had different types of sleeping disorders that would, I think, annoy each other. Where like you would be up early and like kind of late, and then I would be up in the times where you were asleep trying to do other stuff. It's just, I don't know, very funny.
It was.
You guys never got your cycle synced?
No, we couldn't do it.
No.
Just two mentally ill ships passing in the crazy waters at night.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of beautiful.
Well, it's ADHD waters. So
yeah, so it's a little choppy.
At least someone was always awake to like hold down the fort. You know, you have to like take turns sleeping with your back against the tree.
Yeah,
at camp.
Dude, we'd be so good at camping.
I'd be really good at it. I think about moving into the woods a lot.
You look like something that would come out of the woods.
I feel like that, yeah. I've been like considering like moving to the woods, like typing up manifestos, like sending bombs to public officials.
truth bomb. I don't know. I was trying to think of something. That's the best I could come up
Something to
with.
keep that from getting cut.
No.
It'll get
Bath
cut.
bombs. Bath bombs.
There you go.
You know, the little, like, you fuck with that, but like the little things that
Put it in the water and
you
explodes.
put it in the water and then it
Oh, yeah.
explodes
And
because
then you die.
and then you die. Like, yeah, like sending that to like, you know, government officials.
That's funny because for like a second, you did kind of work for a company that makes bath bombs.
I did.
Lush?
Oh no, I forgot about that.
So we worked in a communal building, kind of similar to the place that you work at,
Yeah,
which the address is. No, I was kidding.
This place?
this place right here.
Well, I don't know if you wanted to say it out loud.
Because yeah, you work.
It
right
was like
now.
a recommissioned like old hotel,
Okay.
Yeah,
which was scary as fuck. They never fixed the elevator.
it was haunted too.
Yeah,
It
100%.
was like straight up real haunted. So you right now, where we're recording this is like in a shared workspace environment where like everyone has their own little office that they like do stuff in.
Yeah.
The place that we worked was like a shared workspace for sweatshops,
Right,
where
right.
you would just droves of Mexicans would show up every morning to go work their miserable job, and we were two of them. And yeah, we worked for a vape juice distribution
okay.
manufacturing facility, but then I also worked for a bath bomb making place, which is so funny because like the guy who owned it is, I don't know if he was a scumbag or not, but
I've heard.
he treated us really badly.
Yeah.
But then his company would be like selling bath bombs to like Target and shit. Like they would
Crazy.
be getting into like real places. And I would like hear people talking about the bath bombs in real life, and I was like, "This is just made by like 7 comedians in horrible working
That's
conditions."
so funny. That's
terrible.
crazy.
Yeah, we were like fucking chimney sweeps from
We
old
did that.
England.
We did vape oil. I think at one point, when vape started to turn because of all the regulation changes, we just became like a bottling plant on the side. And we did like yoga mats and lavender oil for a while. So the whole
God.
place smelled like lavender. It was awful.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I had quit at that point.
I think so.
Yeah, I left.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Bruce. He came in like every other weekend.
That's
after
really
a while.
funny. Yeah, Bruce Gray, another comedian. Go check him out. We all worked in poverty. Man, that's so funny. I forgot all about that part of my life. My favorite thing about working there was that we were making vape juice, and they told us like they have a whole section to make the vape juice, and it's like a quarantine zone from like a zombie movie.
It's like this big.
Yeah.
But all like just a metal table and then like a machine at the end.
Yeah, and they're like, everyone who goes in there is dressed in like a full hazmat suit, because if you get a single drop of pure nicotine on your body, it'll seep into your blood and kill you.
Right.
And I thought they were like overreacting to it, but no, if it gets onto your body, you will fucking die.
Well, I knew this dude who was a heavy smoker that used to work with us, and he famously he did straight nicotine.
Oh,
Yeah.
like raw?
It burned, and he did have to like go home. But he's alive. He's a teacher.
What the fuck? He's a teacher? What does he teach?
Like middle school, you think? I don't know.
I like that straightened him out, bro. That changed his life. He's just happy to be alive now. Yeah, I loved it because it was just like, it's such a sterile, like scientific working area, and then just the most like douchey Mexican dudes working there you've ever seen. Like, have
It's
you ever
still
seen
like a warehouse crew.
Yeah,
fucking-
like you would see 2 dudes in a hazmat suit, and one of them would fucking slap the other one in the balls. Like, it was so funny. It was so fucking funny to me.
Dude, that'd be a great sitcom, like The Office, but it's
Just
fucking
dudes
clean
working
room.
in a clean room. I like your little canteen. No one can see it, and I don't know why I commented on it.
It's all right.
We'll show a picture.
Yeah, it
right
feels-
here.
It's like we're in the Vietnam War.
But you got like the luxurious
Their
one
canteens were crazy different.
because you were able to get
This
like
is like
a
camping. This is a camping canteen.
What do you mean they were completely different? Do you know?
conscientious-
Yeah, they're like military canteens. They're like square green.
Oh, don't get him started about Vietnam.
Yeah, you a big fan?
No.
You do look like you're
I
dressed.
get your joke though. That's funny.
Thanks.
I thought that depression runs in my family. Not with everyone, but a few people have like clinical. And I thought that I had it, and it turned out that it was just like a side effect of having ADHD. It wasn't just hyperfocus. It was also like executive dysfunction feels like depression without the sad part. It's like your brain, for in a similar fashion, your brain just doesn't want to do. Like, I don't know if you heard of, not bed rotting. It's like a thing called nesting, where you just stay in bed all day. I would do that, not because I was sad, just because I didn't feel like doing that day. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I just like wouldn't eat. I just like lay there.
It seems so like I have done similar things, but I always get like, oh my god, this is so fucking cringe, dude. But like, I'm obsessed with death, dude. I like think about it every day, like every second of my life. I'm terrified of death.
Same.
Yeah, and so like that's what are you laughing at?
Like having to use voices to speak
to get
vulnerably, to like be vulnerable.
Is this how you talk in your therapy session? Like, fuck
I'm wicked fucking scared. Every moment of my life, I'm paralyzed with fear, dude.
Your therapist's like, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking tight, dude. That's literally sick. Like mentally ill. Yeah, I'm gripped with fear every day constantly because of the concept of death. And so like it bums me out when I do that. And not to say like it bums me out or like you shouldn't do that, because I also do it. I'll do it sometimes. And then I feel guilty and sad and scared, like, oh fuck, I wasted a day. Like you don't really have a lot of those. And I feel worse about it. So like I'm trying to do more to like, whenever I feel like not doing that, it's like, okay, I don't have to get anything done today, but like, what if I just went for a fucking walk? And like, if I'm just going to be in bed all day and like staring at my phone or something, like, why don't I walk to the park and sit on a bench and do it like in the open or something? Or like, if I'm just going to watch TV and do fucking nothing all day, like what if I call a friend and we like watch TV and hang out?
Yeah, that's something I started practicing to sort of like break my habits with executive dysfunction. And that's something that I kind of like promote to other people, because I talk about a lot of my stand-up and in my content in general. So people ask like how I get over it. And
this is stupid. This is dumb. Executive dysfunction. What is this? Warner Brothers? I didn't even get a laugh out of you. Jesus.
because they got bought out by Discovery.
No, they merged with Discovery.
Oh.
It was a merger. We merged together.
And they got rid of the Cartoon Network.
Yeah, and me. They
Oh,
shut us
yeah.
down. They shut my ass down real quick.
You were part of Rooster Teeth, for people wondering what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, I was a creative producer, one of the head writers, big muckety muck at a company called Rooster Teeth,
Nice.
which was owned and operated by Warner. We were actually a subsidiary of an acquired company, so we were like 5 levels down, and we still got shut down. They had to dig through shit to find us and throw us out, which kind of hurts your feelings, but.
It's like digging through like old boxes just to find the thing you want to throw.
Yeah, to specifically, looking through junk drawer. Not even junk drawer, looking through your trash. Like opening the bag to find one specific thing to fucking super throw into a fire. It's fucking dumb.
I think it's funny. Not funny. It's tragic and terrible. But from what I heard, like the reasoning behind it is the dude that is now like at the very top of it just doesn't give a shit about that extracurricular stuff.
Zaslav is like just such a fucking mark of the times that we live in, where like, first of all, he hates scripted. He came from non-scripted like reality shows, because also he hates TV. Like he's just kind of I hate saying this, he's kind of a fuddy-duddy dude. But like he also is so out of touch and stupid, and like when he got put in charge, I remember somebody
Do you want me to keep that in?
what, fuddy duddy?
Call him stupid.
Just shitting on this very public rich man.
Fuck him. I got my severance. I don't give a fuck anymore. I did a Zaslav diss track.
Discover these nuts.
Discover these fucking nuts, dude. That's so good. Yeah,
I just want to be careful, you know. For you, I don't know.
For me,
it's not gonna hurt me.
My favorite is that when he got like put in charge, he was like, the first thing I'm gonna do is move my office over to the Warner Brothers lot, cause that's where the movies are made, the pictures. And I was like, oh boy, shut up, you fucking dork. I also made this.
I can have you missing like you bad, girl. You looking like Acme. Sassy, don't you at me. And I tell my bros, roll on warning like it's strike time. Just cover my sight line. Baby, I am not lying. Get your ass on Lifetime. Get your ass on Lifetime. Do you want that? Do you want that? Do you suck my gonads? And I'm going max. Ain't no HBO. And one thing's for sure, I can make a TV show. I could make a TV show. If you wanted to hire me back, you know, or at the very least pay out my severance. Market's pretty rough right now. Cause you a bitch, motherfucker, and I hate you.
And apparently he heard it, is what I got to hear from somebody. They told me not to do another one. That was the big thing, was like, just, you don't want to fuck up your severance or whatever. And
Speaking of why you're on the show, no. We hear you have a whole album.
Yeah. It's called it's called Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. It's never coming out.
That's hilarious. It's just an image of his house.
Yeah, it's the Not Like Us cover, but David Zaslav's house. And it's, instead of Registered Sex Offenders, it's different movies that never got Batgirl, fucking Acme.
That's honestly like a really good cover for a diss.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. The state of the industry and movies, TV, everything, even like internet and content, like bums me out. It just like it hurts my feelings. Working at Rooster Teeth was like a super cool dream come true. I don't know. Are you familiar with them?
I know of it because we've talked about it before, but I don't know it so well that I could like.
That's fine. That's kind of sums up the vibe that we had.
It kind of, I mean, not to like oversimplify it. It feels like you guys kind of started in an era where that kind of YouTube channel had become a thing. Mm-hmm. Like Smosh had become established. I don't mean in a comparative way.
No, I think that my face was not based on what you were saying. It's based on my thought, which is I could be super wrong. I think that they predate like Smosh and those things. They definitely predate YouTube, and that was a big thing.
Well, yeah, I do remember they were a different thing before YouTube. Mm-hmm. Like I remember hearing of Rooster Teeth.
Yeah,
they were founded in 2003.
Yeah, yeah. I do remember that because our 20th anniversary was 2023. It started as a company because they made Red versus Blue, which is what everyone knows. Yeah. And then we sort of branched out from there to become like more. I say we. I didn't do any of this shit. I was a baby. I was fucking 7. Okay, so not a baby, but whatever. They did podcasts and were kind of pioneers in that digital space of like video game nerds and stuff like that. And then eventually what they become was like a content factory. And as all of these things do, and you can either kind of like zig or zag, you know, you can either like become what Dropout became, which it's so funny to me that like years ago, Dropout came to Rooster Teeth and like begged Rooster Teeth, like, please buy us, please like acquire us. Like we're on our last legs. We're fucking done. And Rooster Teeth was like, no. And then now move forward where Dropout is super successful. Yeah. Rooster Teeth is no more. We're dead. And like our employees are going to Dropout like, please hire us, please. And to be fair, Dropout is incredible and has hired a lot of my friends, both to work on them and like to be a part of the shows. I've seen a bunch of
people that we came up with.
I have no problem with Dropout, and I have honestly, I really have no problem with Rooster Teeth either. Like working there was great. I think there are issues that happened with like, I get so fucking bent out of shape about like the last couple years working there was like, how can we build content based off of data and statistics and like what works, and that shit like bums me out. Like people the simplest way to put it is it makes me sad when people make things because they think it's what people want instead of making things from a place of I'm excited about doing this. That's pure and simple. It's just like it always bums me out.
I don't think I'm capable of doing that because I'm autistic.
Yeah,
No,
fair.
I mean to put in a more dumber framework, like TikTok trends. I'm on TikTok. I have like a moderate following. I would say, like in the grand scheme of, I'm not like a TikTok celebrity by any means, but you know, it's up there. And once in a while, people ask me to join trends, and I'm like, I know that you think this is a good idea because of what you're seeing. I can't do like when people did that fucking Sims thing where they pretended to be like NPCs.
The NPC, yeah.
I was like, I can't be disingenuous on purpose. Like it has to just come naturally. Otherwise, I can't force stuff like that because then I'm bad at it.
Sure.
And it's like a thing of like, you only want it because it's what's happening right now. You don't want me to do it. You don't care if I do it.
Sure. It's also like, why would I want to do the thing that other people are doing?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's cool. You can put your own spin on it. You can do whatever. I get being excited about stuff like that for sure. But like, I never want to make something because the data tells me I should make it, unless I'm like excited about making it. It bums me out, man. It makes me like and also to be clear, especially with like the TikTok stuff, like there's a difference between like, do I want to make clips of my own podcast and put those on social media? No, but I like making the podcast, and clipping out will allow me to make more of the podcast. So that is like a means to an end of a thing I want to do. That's fine. That's whatever.
It's like what would be considered like part of a media
part
package.
of the job. Yeah. Like you have to do that. But like from the ground up, do I want not? And to be clear, this isn't like a Rooster Teeth thing exclusively. People just do this all the time. And I've worked with so many content creators and like as a producer for so many people that you just see this all the time where they're like, we saw this and we want to recreate this, but for our brand. And it's like, okay, but that thing that you want to recreate is a show that works because it like was that person's thing, you know, like it existed for that person and they made that for the reason that they were excited about making it. If anything, what you can do is like break down why something is successful and then sort of see what you can do that's your version of that. You know what I mean? Like,
I definitely get that.
Something you're excited about. I'm sorry that I'm like so unfunny today too.
No, it's fine. We had some great bits. That bad bomb thing was
I don't
hilarious.
think you're unfunny, and I think what you're saying is great.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
This podcast is known for bringing out the sincerity in people. So
I hate being sincere. I think sincerity is fucking dumb.
That was a sincere thing to say. That you said that was sincerity. No, I do think it's funny though. Like when people were doing what you said, like being like, "You made this thing once. I want an Oompa Loompa, and I want an Oompa Loompa now." That's the same energy to me. They're like, "I want the thing I see."
So right now, I run a show called promotion. Called Boyfriend Material, which is the premise of the show is it's a relationship advice show guaranteed to ruin your relationship. That's the whole. We have people that mail us in like, hey, I need help with my relationship for this reason or whatever. And then we try to give genuine advice for like 2 minutes. And then the rest of the like 30 minutes we spend on a question is just like, yeah, fucking lie to him, dude. Just like really be a piece of shit scumbag. And it's a lot of fun, and I like it a lot. We have, for our Patreon, a show called Research and Development, and we basically use it as a way to do like test episodes for segments that we want to do on our real show, or... Yeah, I think everyone should do that. Where it's just like test segments for shows that you already have, or test episode pilots for shows you want to make in the future.
I mean, that's something we've tampered with like recently. Well, what we've been doing is we'll start it off as a Patreon segment first, while we're still working out the concept, and then if we think it's good enough, we bring it like to the main.
I like it a lot, especially because like my biggest hurdle as an artist, a creator, whatever you want to call me, is that I never want to put anything out unless it's perfect. And like nothing, first of all, nothing will ever be perfect. You'll always have the ability to find something. I'm like, bro, I'm like, my superpower is hating. Like I will find something to hate in everything. Like this room, for example, it fucking sucked. No, this is a beautiful room. Thank you for having me. I really thought that joke was going to land better. And instead it was,
I wanted you to actually point something out. I thought you had an actual thing to point out. So I was waiting for.
I hate that you have a plant behind that one guitar and none of the others.
To be in front of it. And I took the grass. I
See,
took the
now I
guitar
feel
off.
that.
The vibe of that. He's like, no, make fun of me. Oh,
Oh, man.
Bro,
I didn't think you were gonna comment on that.
Yeah, my grandpa's guitar.
It's like an homage. He died.
I saw
wearing
you
the
look
guitar.
at it, and I was like, oh. Yeah, I'm like, I hate that fucking guitar specifically.
Yeah, I think it's ugly, bro.
It is. He bought it on the internet.
That's even because it's not like it's an heirloom. It's just like,
Yeah, I thought you were
yeah, he saw it on fucking Etsy and was just like,
It
hell
for
yeah,
sure
dude.
was. It was just his.
Dude, I straight up, I thought you were like, my grandfather traveled this country, dude, just fucking playing tunes with an open case, living off the kindness of others. And instead you were like, no, Guitar Center had a Black Friday deal. And my grandpa just ordered
actually,
it.
even worse. I think it was like, do you want to learn how to play guitar? And he like bought it in like his later years.
Hilarious.
And gave up after 2 months. Anyway, yeah, fuck that guitar. And I'm so sorry for your loss.
No, it's good.
I can find something to hate in everything.
Right.
Whether it's a piece of content I make or something that you have to remember your dead grandfather who could, by the way, couldn't play guitar.
No, he could. That was his guitar too.
Then why did he buy that? Okay, it's fine.
I don't know.
I'm moving on from this.
I love how no matter where he takes it, you just fucking tear him down, cut him at the knees.
It's fucking tennis, bro.
No,
It
he did
sucks.
travel. This is the guitar he left me.
I can find something to hate in every piece of content I ever make, and it sucks that like it stops me from wanting to release anything, especially once I realize that like, okay, we were talking about the Nathan Fielder stuff earlier. I think Nathan Fielder's what is it? It's not the rehearsal. The rehearsal is like one of the greatest pieces of art I've ever seen in my entire life. I think it's genuinely like such a beautiful like piece of both satire and like you can't tell where the line is, which is something like that subversive comedy that I really enjoy, where like you have no idea what part is a bit, what part isn't, what part's scripted, what's not. I think it's brilliant. You can see where he came from there with Nathan For You.
Yeah.
And then with Nathan For You, you can see the bones of that in like his work on This Hour Is 22 Minutes. Same with like if you go back and watch Eastbound and Down, great show, you can see like, oh, Danny McBride came up for vice principals to be like, what if Kenny Powers had stayed at the school working there all those years? And then Will Ferrell's character is like the prototype for Baby Billy. Like, you just sort of see this stuff, and it's like that only works because like, and also not to get me wrong, those shows that all those people did were very good,
Right.
but you need to like work your shit out, put your shit out so people can watch it and see it, and then like develop it over time. So part of what I really like about the research and development thing that we're doing is one, it's content for paying members. But two, it also allows you to like sort of work out, you know, this thing that you're doing and put it on display and like give people sort of like a taste of like you building up to more stuff. Because otherwise you'll never put anything out and then you're never actually doing the thing that you claim to do.
That's so funny because I do this thing. I have this weird habit and it doesn't serve any actual purpose. It's just a thing my brain does when I'm bored. But I will sniff whatever I'm holding.
What?
So like we'll just be sitting here and I'll go for no reason. I'm not even like actually sniffing it. You just burped into that. Of course it smells weird.
Yeah.
Mine smells like vanilla.
Let me smell.
It doesn't.
We trade.
It does not smell like vanilla.
Oh!
I could have.
Your breath smells bad.
Yeah.
It smells like vanilla.
That's fine.
I hate vanilla.
I hate vanilla. Vanilla smells disgusting.
Oh man.
Does it smell bad? It's like, no, it smells like vanilla. I just hate
I
vanilla.
just hate vanilla. You were correct. Oh man.
Damn, what was the last thing you were just talking about right now?
Just putting stuff out. Like you
Pudding?
need to pudding. Chocolate, vanilla, tapioca.
Just leave it out.
That type shit.
No, I struggle with that too. Like, I have to not
He's reading his
fucking.
hand.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I sweated off the thing I wrote. So I looked at it right now. I've been looking at it to keep reminding myself, and then I looked at it and it was
For
gone.
because he's not on camera. He's been writing stuff down on his hand,
I just wrote.
which
He
is
has
really
paper
funny.
too. There's a notebook right
Yeah,
there.
there's so many
That's a
different
drawing
ones.
pad.
And then
That's not the point.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Please continue.
If I wrote it in the notepad, I would still forget.
Sure.
Me having this on my hand will help me remember. Look, don't judge how I run things, okay? It was a slight note because you introduced yourself. Now I'm going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You introduced yourself, and I wrote it down. It's really funny. We should make our guests introduce themselves.
By force.
Just starting the show by you being, "Hi, I'm the guest of today's show," was so funny to me for some reason. And I was like, that's something we should force everyone to do. That's hilarious.
That hand thing is funny. I actually used
it.
to do a bit on stage where I'd pretend to forget my jokes and I'd pull out a random book, like any book I could find at the dollar store. Like, I think the last time I did it, I was doing a Sudoku book. And then I would look at it like it's my jokes. And I would do the rest of the set, and then I would flip it over, and it's just a big smiley face that says, "You're doing a good job."
That's pretty good. I did that once, and this sounds like a made up bit, but it's very real. I had to give a what do you call it? A speech. It was for an English class where you're supposed to basically be making an argument through like an orated speech or whatever.
Right.
And I am really good at bullshitting. And so I didn't do any of the legwork for my speech, like at all. It was my phone, it vibrated. I didn't do any of the legwork for the speech at all. Instead, I had 2 note cards on there with me that I would pretend to read off of because you had to have your note cards. I also went first because I was like, I just want to get the shit out of the way. And the only things the note card said was, "Don't fuck up." And then the other note card said, "Seriously, don't fuck up."
Funny.
And I gave my speech and I did really well. And the teacher was like, "This was fantastic. Great job. Now just don't forget to turn in your notes." And I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Yeah, the notes that you were having, that's like part of the assignment to like, you know, whatever." And so he was like, "Okay, can I get them over there?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? The notes you brought up there, you have them. Just put them right there on the desk and we'll move on to the next person." And so I had to put those 2 notes. "Don't fuck up. Seriously, don't fuck up."
That's hilarious.
Put it on the thing. I got a C. He said I did a good job, but I needed to prepare more. But I think it would have gotten a better score if I had just a big happy face. You're doing great.
If he gives you the notes back in like red ink, it says, "You fucked up."
The next one, seriously, you fucked up.
Good job.
Hell yeah, dude. I've been seeing like teachers. It's funny to like see people our age be teachers because like because they're starting to talk like how we talked like when we were, like I imagine a teacher being like, "Hell yeah, dude," and I think that's hilarious.
Dude.
I saw this clip of this dude. This is completely unrelated, so we can cut it if it's not funny.
Wow, you were right. That was not funny at all.
I'm just here undefeated.
Okay, all right. No, it was good. Put it back in now. You're gonna be 30 in like
A year.
a year.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Gross.
Really?
I'm annoyed that it still sounds like this.
As a 30-year-old?
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
That like,
As a voice actor, it's like it's a tool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an aspiring voice actor, but like Richard Horvitz, the voice of Zim, that's just how that fool talks, and he's like 50 something.
yeah. I love watching him do like
I've met him
recordings.
twice.
That's really sick.
Very friendly.
I've been very #blessed to do like 3 different voices in 3 different cartoons. And
yeah.
what I think is funny is that every time I do it, I like do a different voice, and they always try to be like, can you just do your normal voice? Because you have such a weird, because your normal voice is so like fucked up, and like, I don't know, it'd be funny. Like imagine like if someone sounded like that, and I'm like, okay,
Someone does.
it's me. Come on, man.
It's me, man. Yeah. That's so
Sound like a straight cartoon.
Just walking around like a
Honestly.
fucking cartoon character.
You know what's the most frustrating thing that's come from me doing like voice acting and impressions is for the longest time, just because of the cadence that I naturally have, people are like, you should try to do Mickey Mouse. And I was like, why? Because in my head, like, I'm a huge voice acting nerd. I'm like, you know how specific Mickey Mouse's voice is? Like, you can't just do a falsetto and you sound like him. People think that. But no, it's awful.
That's it. It's
Because he
perfect,
has
yeah.
like an accent. And then like I was drunk and I was bored and I was like, man, I need to come up with a new, because I used to do a Mad Hatter impression, but I'd been doing it too long.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I need a new impression to add to this bit. I do Mad Hatter, but it's the monologue from Goodfellas. The what am I, a clown?
What am I, a clown to you?
So I needed a new one and a new voice, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna try it." And I went. I thought of the monologue first. I was like, "There Will Be Blood" is a funny monologue to do as a cartoon, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna try Mickey Mouse." I'm like, "Let's say you have a milkshake." I'm like, "Fuck." First try.
I'm an oil man. My father was an oil man. You're right. I can't do it. You can't.
This
just
is
go
my
high.
partner and son, HW. A bastard from a basket.
I've abandoned my boy.
I've abandoned my child.
When I first met you, I thought that you sounded naturally close to to like Max's cousin from Goofy movie.
Max
You know,
is.
You mean the?
Petey?
Are you talking about the
Pete?
fat guy
Yeah.
next door?
Yeah,
PD's
that's
son?
not why.
You
His
think they
voice.
sounds it because
PJ?
he's just
I
fat?
feel like no. It's I think it would not be a stretch.
Rob Paulson
for you
is
to,
one of my favorite
Dude,
voice
I pull
actors.
up Pete
the
from the thing. It just sounds like Daniel Cabral.
That'd be crazy.
It's funny that you said
guys.
Petey because Petey is the
The
dad.
dad. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Man.
is his name PJ?
Yeah, that guy.
Huh?
Is it PJ or something like that?
PJ.
PJ is his
yeah,
name. It's
yeah,
Petey
yeah.
Jr.
Oh,
So you got it.
It's so funny. That's the voice of Carl Weezer. I met that guy too. I was always a fan of him because he was the original voice of Raphael, the Ninja Turtle, and that was my favorite Ninja Turtle as a kid. And I got his
Really?
autograph.
I could not tell them apart.
Yeah, they all kind of talk like skater dudes.
Yeah. Plus, I'm colorblind.
I genuinely think
That's
you
fine.
could do this voice if you really tried.
I've tried. I don't have it yet. I probably could figure it out.
That is Weezer. That's Carl Weezer. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'd
same
never
guy.
put that together.
He's some skinny old dude from like Michigan.
Yeah,
great dude.
He can do. That's also. Is he Pinky too?
Yes.
Yeah?
And he's Yakko, the
Yeah,
oldest
yeah, yeah.
Animaniac brother.
Man, what a fucking voice.
He's
Probably
Ruben.
a gang of people, right?
Agent 625, Experiment 625, aka Ruben. He's the one that made
the
sandwiches.
sandwich one.
That was my
Yeah.
favorite fucking to come up with that. Do you know the concept, right? Like he does everything Stitch can do, but he doesn't give a shit. He just wants to make
makes
sandwiches all day.
Yeah.
He's as strong as Stitch. He is as powerful. He has the same. He literally looks like Stitch but blonde. But he just wants to make sandwiches. all
They
day.
made him for the show, right? It's
Yeah.
only in the show.
And then they made movies after.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know they're making a live action one right now,
Dude,
or did make one.
if they're gonna fuck with stuff anyway, which they're gonna do, it'd be great to get him live action. That'd be cool.
I think they're doing that. I think they're making a live action one, or did
No,
make
they're
it.
making live action Stitch. I just don't know if it's gonna be like what Lion King did and just straight for shot recreation.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like change it up, like fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody had once told me that the reason they do it, and like the Stitch thing, I don't know if the timing lines up. Maybe I am that old, but I was under the impression that the reason they were live action making all these things was so that they could keep the copyright refreshed.
I think so.
Yeah,
Because they've lost some big ones recently.
Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie and
That was a
Winnie
big
the
one.
Pooh.
Yeah,
Did you see the horror movies?
I did. They're really
I'm
bad.
told
What to do,
when you
like a good boy.
I'm a marionette. I'm told that the sequel, Blood and Honey, is a lot better. It's a lot more produced. And
I'm told. I'm being told by my producer.
being
My
told by the
sources.
cartoon in my ear.
Well,
My favorite thing of that was, I don't remember what the context was, but it was like, I'm being told by the man that lives on my finger.
And there's like a little pen drawing a smiley face finger.
to go way back, it was the summer of 1987. No, to go back to what
A
we were
bomb
saying earlier. You were like, it's fucked up to be 30 and sound like this, and I truly feel like movies and TV fucked me up, where like a different actor would play a kid and then a different actor would play the same character as like an adult, and I just figured that like sometime in my adulthood I would get recast.
Eventually, you would sound like Bob Saget.
Yeah, like eventually, like around 27, like they fucking take me out, shoot me, and replace me with like
When do I become
somebody
Richard
better.
Dreyfuss?
Yeah, exactly. And it sucks that you don't. You just grow up, and then now it's like I just gotta be this guy, but I'm old now. That sucks. That's a bummer. When do I get hot? You know, when?
It's made even worse
Now,
Whoa!
Sparkles retransform. He can shape reality.
Thank you, editor. Yassify me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that skinny filter where like I pinch on one place. Yeah. I'll add that sound.
He hates
Fuck, I
it.
forgot what I was about to say.
It's made even worse.
It's made even worse that your voice is deeper in your head than it is for everyone else.
Dude,
Oh,
I
no.
hated when someone told me that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's true.
Because I sound like a cartoon right now.
Yeah,
Dude, how bad is my voice?
your voice doesn't sound
It's
that
fine.
high pitched. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear. Well, that's the other thing is too is I listen to myself a lot because I like edit and I
Same.
do
In
stuff.
reality, my voice only registers if you're under 25. It's the thing about noises.
Sounds creepy.
It's a thing about a certain pitch can only be registered at a certain age.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
Audio engineers.
Do you get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Citrus. Well, I went to Citrus.
I know all about the cochlea.
I know all about doing coke
Hell,
with
Leah.
Leah.
I know a lot about Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
How long
but
have we
wait,
been
why do
recording?
you blame television?
What?
Because you said that like people would change. A guy.
Yeah, people would they would just recast somebody
Gotcha, yeah.
and they'd become older, and I always figured that like that would happen, but it doesn't. Like you
No.
just are the same guy. Like Anakin doesn't become what's his name?
Hayden Christensen?
Hayden Christensen. He becomes grown up Anakin, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up, and it looks bad. And I always thought that like that would happen to me. Like I would be like this like guy, and then like flash forward 20 years in the future, I would be replaced with like John Cena or I guess The Rock for complexion, but. Yeah, and that never happened. That's not what happens at all.
Your Act 3 glow up or whatever.
Yeah, you can. I do see that. I see a lot of people like not. I don't care. Here's the thing. You don't have to lose weight to be attractive, but just like I see people like glow up really, and that's what I'm trying to do for myself. Get as ugly as possible early on so that it's easier to glow up later.
Yeah. That's the
Then you're
goal.
like 50 and you're bald. I'm like, fuck.
I
went
missed it.
too far.
No.
It sometimes doesn't take that long.
No. Yeah, man. It's fucked up because I still like this
For
is
the listeners,
Like they don't know who I am.
for the
Josh is
listeners.
bald.
Josh
He's
is bald.
ugly.
Yeah.
He's fucking ugly, dude.
why
put
do
a
you think
picture
he's
of
not
it
in
here.
Kent now?
It's fucking
Just my ball, just the balls cut off of it.
We show his picture, but it's censored. That's so ugly.
you can't look at it. Yeah, I think it's fucked up that like, and I know this isn't an original thought, but like how I am just the
TM.
same kid, that I was like when I was a kid. I'm just that, but bigger. And now I'm getting to the point where like I'm still that kid. Like up here, like I'm still a kid, but like now my fucking knees hurt, dude. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Don't
like
you miss being able to jump off stuff?
yeah, I used to do that shit all the time.
You still can, bud. Just stretch.
I know, but it's worse than that too because
I
it's
can't.
like
I'll
you
like
can
break
stretch.
something.
Well, you
I-
gotta drop a little bit. yours?
I'm a little outstretched, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
That's popcorn. There's nothing on my
mentally and almost appearance wise.
It zooms to him, but you still hear.
There's more.
Mentally and appearance wise, there's not a huge difference between me now and me when I was a teenager. And that's what bums me out because I'm the same kid, but now sometimes I look in the mirror and my hairline is thinning a little bit. Like that's fucked up.
Dude, I get freaked out because.
Could you imagine, by the way?
Yeah.
Could you imagine what it
Having
feels
hair?
like to have hair like this
No, I
and
did.
watch it go away?
I did do that.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. I wasn't bald my whole life.
But just think about it for a little
Well,
bit.
you were when you started.
When I started being bald,
No, when you started life.
I wasn't.
You were a bald baby.
You didn't start off as
Actually,
hair.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I had hair when I was
You know?
born.
Really?
Yeah, babies have hair. Some babies are born with full head of hair.
I was one of those babies that had like a lot of hair when I was born.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. I was yellow.
Jaundice.
Jaundice.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, it's called Asian American. Cut that out. Cut that out. We can't keep that. Jaundice. That sounds awful.
It's called Simpson American, you piece of shit.
Oh,
That's crazy.
God, we have to cut that one out.
I always thought those were just generic skins for the emojis.
No, all the emojis have jaundice.
Oh man.
Jaundice, John Dat. Sorry. Shut up.
Yeah.
We grew up in a similar area. How was you've been in content creation, producing, sound producing. I think you put out you've put out music
Yeah.
of your own. Has any of that been influenced by like your journey as a Latino living in the United States?
Yeah. I have a really complicated relationship with my heritage, mostly because, I grew up in predominantly Latino neighborhoods and shit, but my mom worked for a school district, so I got bussed into actually around here, Charter Oak High School. I went to Charter Oak.
Well, dude, no.
I know, which are also they have a lot of Latino people, but they have over 50K a year Latino people, which is Latino people who don't think they're Latino
They're
anymore.
Hispanic people.
Yeah, we're Hispanic. We were more Spanish than anything, and that shit it just caused a lot of self-hatred in them. And then everyone else was a white kid. And so then if you it was weird to be Mexican. So then I developed my own self-hatred, but I was also still poor and shit. So it sucked for me growing up because I would hate being Mexican because then people treated me like I was different or whatever. And then also I would let kids, and I would make the same racist Mexican jokes to ha ha ha, he's cool, haha, you can say whatever you want around him. And then don't bring up the clip. And then, I would go home to a predominantly Latino neighborhood where then the kids would call me white. And I was like, these fucking Mexicans, dude, they have no idea what it's like, And so it just sucked. So I struggled a lot with feeling confident and feeling okay with being Mexican or identifying as Latino. And then the big shocker was 2020. It sucks that it took me until then to when 2020 happened. At this point I had already started reconnecting with both my dad's family and trying to learn Spanish and learning more about my culture and the history of my people and all that stuff. But then I going to the protests and stuff and really seeing how bad it is, and how some of those people who did yuck fucking Mexican jokes and I allowed them to do stuff, they're not joking, they're just racist. There are people that are just racist people. And I'm not saying if you make a fucking Mexican joke or allow people to laugh at you being Mexican once in a while with friends that you're helping whatever. It's just, but doing it all the time sucked. And I realized that in my stand-up, I had a lot of jokes about being Mexican where the punchline was we're so fucking weird and backwards, right? Which was just basically allowing white people to like laugh at Mexicans because I was saying it. So it's like, oh, it's okay. And that like really fucked me up. So like from then on, I like took out like 40 minutes, I think, of material just because like I didn't like it, or like some of it was stupid. Like I used to do this joke where it was like, my brothers always say fuck the police. So they say fuck the police all the time. FTP, fuck the police. But like they've never even been pulled over by the police. So like I don't think you should get to say that, you know? But one time I got in a car crash and an ambulance took me to the hospital. That shit cost $12,000. So like I'm fine with the police, but fuck the paramedics. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see an ambulance go by, I throw up a O for Obamacare. Bitch. And like I used to do that joke and I thought it was funny, but then I got like hit in the gut with a baton by a police officer at a protest where literally all we were doing was saying like, hey, we should have more oversight for the police. They can't just brutalize black and brown people willy-nilly. And they fucking showed up and hit me in the gut. And it was like, oh, actually, no, fuck the police. Like that shit sucks. And so like, yeah, I've had a really complicated identity crisis throughout a lot of my life because I just wanted to be accepted by a lot of people for a really long time, and now I'm learning more about it, and like I'm really proud of my culture and I'm really proud of my heritage, and I've learned a lot about like really cool people. Both I idolize some fucked up people like Cholino. I like Cholino a lot because the story's fucking crazy. To get a note where like, hey, if you play this show, we're gonna kill you, and he's like going into it. That fucking rocks. Or
the
like
memes for that are so funny. Every time I see the memes for it, they're so funny.
They get me every time. Just like the text, where are you? Get home. Like that, or and again, I know this is fucked up, but like my favorite is like the stories of like how the cartel eventually beat the Italian mob. Because the Italian mob was like, man, fuck these Mexicans. They have no class. They have no idea what it's like to be a criminal. And it's like, yeah, but they also have millions of lives that they will throw at a problem until it gets solved through death and violence. And that's just what they did.
My favorite thing is how much they love Dragon Ball Z.
The Mexicans?
The cartel specifically.
The cartel specifically,
Do
yeah.
you not know about this?
Yeah, they love Dragon Ball Z.
Dude, when that dude, I've already said it before, but it's like my favorite fact. I gotta stop saying favorite. It's like not the right connotation when it comes to talking about the cartel. but they had a ceasefire, like no crime, the whole week that the creator of Dragon Ball Z passed away.
Because it was rough.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, I hate that I only brought up two bad examples, but I've learned a lot about like, you know, a lot of real actual people that were like just, you know, people to look up to or people to be proud of, and like learning more about heritage. And also like, you know, your brother is really good about it too, about knowing like a lot about not just well, you are too. But your brother was the first one to introduce me to the struggles of like the straight up like the Chicano movement here in like not just Los Angeles, but
homework?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was like he'd be like, look into the Chavez Ravine, and I'd be like, I don't want to do that. Ugh. And then I did it, and I was like, ugh.
For the old podcast, we tried to review the book on that. Mm-hmm. It was that book is so long.
Yeah.
One way that I do utilize, like the way my ADHD helps me process information, is I'll listen to audiobooks instead of reading a book when it's too long, but I'll listen to it like at ×3 speed, and I still register everything being said.
Yeah.
I did that with this book. It still took me like 3 hours of just sitting there while this guy fastly explains like the drastic like economic crisis that was that situation.
It's really funny.
Yeah, he tried to get me to read The Pedagogy of the Oppressed.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you ever heard
Dom
of that?
did
Read
it?
that? Yeah, Dom tried to get me to read that.
Yeah, he's always doing that shit.
Yeah, that's silly Dom. He's a silly
always-
goose.
That's stupid.
But that book's
Giving you
ridiculous.
books
I was
about-
mad. I was like, this is unlistenable jargon. Like,
yeah.
This man has no showmanship.
That's what sucks too about learning about your culture is that it's so fucking
It's
boring
sad. Yeah,
sometimes,
it's
dude.
bad.
It's sad. Well, yeah, it's sad too, but then you're just like, oh.
Mine was like a little bit more, I want to say in comparison, light,
Mm-hmm.
but I also like a little bit more personal, which was just like for the longest time, I'm third generation
Yeah.
Mexican American. And so for the longest time, like I just didn't have a reason to register the difference.
Sure.
I also like, we grew up in the same city, but I went to like the school in that city. Our mayor was Latino. Our teachers,
This is Baldwin Park.
Baldwin Park.
To be clear, I only lived there for like
Oh yeah,
4 years, I think.
right. Well, I
yeah.
grew up in Baldwin Park, and it was like it was all Latinos all the time. So
Yeah.
it was just like a normal environment for me.
All Latinos all the time.
No,
Baldwin Park.
that does sound like an ad for a swap meet,
It really does.
which is crazy because
We've got the world's first In-N-Out. Baldwin Park.
hell yeah, dude. It's such a funny thing that people know about the In-N-Out before they figure out there's like a town around it.
Yeah. It's just that's In-N-Out town.
yeah.
What's the park called?
Morgan Park.
Morgan Park. Stabbings are down at Morgan Park. Baldwin Park. Fucked up they didn't even call it Baldwin, by the way. Fucking city's name is Baldwin Park. We have one park. We called it Morgan. Dumb. Anyway, continue.
I found out the guy that town's named after, like, that's just the town dedicated to him. He found like San Gabriel Valley. Like,
Really?
He's the founder of Pasadena also.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why there's like bars in there called Lucky Baldwin. Bringing it back to what I was saying, like how I got into like stuff like this was like, it was a bit more personal where like once I stepped out of that environment and I had to like function in groups, like making new friends and kind of going out on my own socially, I did start to see the difference. It became a thing of like, it wasn't that I saw the difference, is that I had to face that they will always see the difference.
Yeah.
And like, I started like getting followed when I went to the Container Store, and I started like getting comments. I was in a gaming group, and once in a while they'd like make Mexican jokes because a lot of them are like from rural New York and the southern parts of Texas. And so like it would get dicey. It would get
But that was just because they were game groups.
dude, it's crazy that game groups call
That was great.
just saying slurs gamer talk.
Yeah, isn't that so cool?
That's
Isn't that-
insane to me.
Isn't that awesome, dude? Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a huge thing of like realizing that it doesn't matter if I don't register it; they will always register it, and that's the point.
Yeah. I grew up with a lot of Latinos in my dad's family, obviously, and I would go out there, and they would always make fun of me for being white, which I thought was so funny. But
It is funny to like because you're like Armando Torres,
Yeah.
and you are just literally like a big fucking Mexican.
I'm the biggest Mexican
Yeah.
to ever live. Yeah. I used to have a joke about it where like I once Googled like tallest Mexican, and it was some dude who was like, he was reported to have been 7 feet 3 inches or something. And then like when he died, they actually measured him, and he was like 6'3". And I think that just goes to show you how short Mexicans are. That he showed up was like, I'm 7 feet tall, and they just went,
Yeah.
I believe you. Yeah. I'm not gonna. How the fuck am I gonna check that? That's crazy.
What am I gonna go out there?
Yeah, that's way out there. He's a mountain fool. And so, fuck, this is dumb. You might want to cut this out, but one of my favorite moments of the fucking Tyson Jake Paul fight last night was that one of the refs, one of the boxing officials was named Hector a fool. I couldn't stop laughing.
I thought you were gonna.
Yeah, put his picture up.
I thought you were gonna talk about Rosie Perez.
Ah, Rosie. I love Rosie.
she's a great commentator, but it felt like she did not care like enough about it to be mindful of. Like I think they would bring up like throughout. It's a Netflix event, so throughout they would mention shows coming out, and they mentioned Squid Game. She's like, I don't like that show. I watched one episode. That was too much for me. People love that show.
Rosie.
She said it was scary. She was like, it was terrifying.
I did like whenever they would bring in the celebrities to call the fight, and they would have these like real boxing announcers and stuff. Also, they have the one guy who used to call like HBO boxing. He's like, do you guys know who I'm talking about? Showtime or HBO? So. He was like the one. Okay. He was the one who kept saying "Mamma Mia" throughout. Oh,
the John Cena guy.
Yeah,
he used to be the announcer for wrestling, and he was the one. He's the guy, the voice in that clip. It's John Cena. That's his voice.
I did not know that.
I think so. I might be wrong.
He is so fucking cringy. Like watching him do his shit, it like made me so mad.
He tried really hard to make "Mamma Mia" his catchphrase.
He did it several times last night.
The weird part for me was like he only did it in like the last two fights.
Yeah.
He did it like towards the end. He just started saying "Mamma Mia,"
but he did it like 3 times. Which,
Mamma Mia.
Yeah, is not. Yeah, Jesus. I also hated how he kept like during Katie Taylor and oh man. I can't remember her first name, but Serrano is her last name. During that fight, is it Amanda Serrano?
I think so. I think it's an A.
I know it's an A name, but I don't want to be.
This leg's asleep. I don't want to like lay back because this is a big fucking couch. I always end up.
Sure. Are you looking it up?
Mm-hmm. Judge the pillow.
Amanda Serrano?
It was Amanda Serrano, right?
I believe
think
so.
Yeah.
Anyway, during their fight, he kept trying to be like, and tonight we will see herstory in the making. Shut up.
Kept trying to make lines.
Shut up, bro.
Netflix and Thrill. Oh my
Netflix
God.
and Thrill.
Yeah, he would do a bunch of shit, and like, man, well, I can't remember the least favorite one that he did, but he said something, and it made me want to like. It made me want to kill him. Like, it made me, and I'm joking, and I'm completely joking, but it made me want to look up his address, show up at his house, and shoot it with a gun. And I'm joking. Stab him in the larynx. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, my favorite part about it, and with Rosie, we talked about it off camera, is that every so often he would say something and be like, "It is rock'em sock'em robots in there," and then 5 minutes would go by, and Rosie Perez would be like, "He's fucking rock'em sock'em robots in there, right, guys?" Yeah, sure is.
I came up with that.
It's funny because like he kept mentioning it too. She like watches boxing. She follows sports. I think she just didn't give a shit about fucking a YouTuber fighting a comedian.
I mean, that fight sucked.
Yeah.
It was boring.
That opening fight was boring as fuck.
The opening fight I didn't see. I started watching with Ramos and Barrios, them fighting,
Right.
which was a pretty good fight. I liked it a lot. What I really liked about it, and I know this seems like I'm pandering, but I genuinely meant it, is them beating the shit out of each other. And then as soon as it was over, just all smiles going up to each other, and you can almost see it in mouthing it. He was like, "Bro, you beat the fuck out of me." And then afterwards, them hugging and both of them just being like, "We put on a good fucking fight. This is what fucking happens when two Mexican warriors come together and fight. This is for fucking Mexico and Mexicans, dude. Hell yeah." Like, it just felt really cool.
My favorite part about it is they kept shitting on that dude for being short.
Yeah.
But not that part. They were like, he's just so small. Like, maybe if he was bigger.
Yeah.
But I think at one point that dude said something like, his punch is like, it's just, he's so small. I don't think they're doing anything. And it was funny for them to do that the whole fight. And then he falls like, but we expected that. And then he knocks that dude down. And they're like, suddenly like, oh, maybe.
Oh. He's got a munchkin of a chance. Yeah, they...
That makes sense. A munchkin.
That's the kind of shit the guy was saying. My favorite part of the night, genuinely, was during the fight with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. When the headbutt happened, I don't know a lot about boxing. I do know that if you have a left hand and a right hand person going up against each other, headbutting is extremely common. And I don't think it was on purpose. And one of the announcers who was a former boxer, I think it was Roy Jones Jr., right? Who was like, that wasn't on purpose. It's so clearly not on purpose. It was an accident and that kind of shit just happens. He was the only voice of reason the whole night. The end of the fight, when everyone shit on this woman through the microphone, and they were like, so they're saying that you absolutely cheated and fought dirty and that you don't deserve to win, and also you're a bitch. How do you feel about that? And then, man, it was so great. And then my favorite moment was when Amanda Serrano came over and hugged her, and I was like, okay, they're gonna have good sportsmanship. And then turned around and went, yeah, I should have won. She fights dirty. She's a real bitch. She look at all the other people she fights. She headbutts. She fights dirty. Anyway, happy birthday, Dad. And then her coach comes in and just takes it over for 5 minutes, calling oh man.
He said, no,
go for it.
It was what he said, though. He was like, she's got a big ass head.
Yeah. Bro, they shit on her.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus.
They were so mean. Everyone was so
right
mean.
There.
I think at one point they said the alleged champion.
Yes. They also were just how does it feel to know that in this second fight, no one wanted you to win and no one thinks you should have won? And she was just like, I don't care what the judges say or what the crowd says. I came here to fight, and I think I put on a pretty good fight. So I think that's all we're going to do, And just every question would just follow up with right.
Happy?
But you suck, right?
Yeah. You proud of yourself?
Wow.
So angry. That's the first time. It's so funny to see a bunch of people from Texas actually praise the brown person.
Yeah.
Just because the other one's from Europe.
Right.
Oh God!
Wow, we have been having fun, guys.
Yeah, and we'll keep
Let's
it going.
keep going.
30 more minutes.
Welcome back
35.
to our telethon.
Yeah, dude. It's,
Well, we're gonna fund his diss track album to the head of Discovery.
One Discovery.
Is there anything that you've been working on or that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I work with a group of me and my friends. We're called Midnight Snack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, thank you. We're
I just love Midnight Snacks.
yeah, me too. It's a good brand. We hang out. We make stuff.
My favorite brand is Recess
For a midnight snack,
for Midnight Snack.
I go savory. I need a crunch. I need some salt.
I don't know why. This is like a genuine fat guy thought. I was like you put chips in it?
In the Reese's?
In the Reese's. Because they make a Reese's with potato chips in it.
That's crazy. I don't like that at all.
The stupidest one I've seen is they make Reese's with Reese's Puffs in it.
What?
For the people craving that
Like
peanut
the
butter chocolate
crunch?
flavor.
Peanut butter chocolate flavor. You remember those ads?
I do.
Okay, good. Because if not, then what I did looked like fucking stupid. All right. Midnight Snack is a company that I run with my friends. We make currently one show. It's called Boyfriend Material. It's really fun. It comes out every Tuesday. Go ahead and listen to that. We're working on new content. I'm working on a video series right now. We're working on a couple other podcasts. They're all really good. I also do a show called Cult Podcast. It is a true crime show. I do it with my very good friend, Paige Wesley. That supposedly comes out on Mondays, but those episodes are hard to make. And you know what's really fun about getting more opportunities to do stuff is that you have less time to read books about cults.
Yeah, you guys have to study for a week before, right?
Yeah, we have to do a lot of research, and it sucks. I love doing the show, and I will never stop doing it, but it is very hard to get well-researched episodes done in just a week's time. But yeah, go listen to that Cult Podcast. Very fun show. I do Twitch streams. I do live comedy. I do so much fun stuff. If you want to follow me online, I'm at Mondo Does Stuff, MANDO Does Stuff, all one word. And that's on everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram.
You have a link here. I will put it in the bio.
Yeah. Blue Sky now. That's a new one.
Oh yeah, I found out about that. I keep seeing people reference it, and I forgot it's a new app. I thought that people were I gave up Twitter to join the defunct animation studio that made Ice Age.
Oh, I thought you were saying I gave up Twitter to just go fucking outside.
That's
To
way
just
better.
stop. I don't want to be online anymore.
Blue Sky's like it's a new like Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty ass.
It sucks.
Well, it's fine. I don't know. I hate all social media. But
thought
follow me on there because I need it.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? Where can the people find you?
You'll never find me till it's too late.
What about you? Where can the people find you?
Kind of same to him.
Kind of same thing. You'll never see me
We
calling.
do it together.
Yeah. No.
You'll never see me until it's too late.
Don't find me. Don't find me, please.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah, you can find here. This
links
is
in
my
the
show.
Yeah.
I did want to, before we go out, so you mentioned, well, actually, I don't know how to contextualize this. One thing that we used to talk about a lot is because when we were living together, you were part of Roast Battle.
Yeah.
That was a fun thing. I remember that because of their ranking system, there was something like I wanted to try to do, but there was like not a scenario where we would roast each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious if you ever wrote roast jokes about me just in case.
No,
No,
but
well,
I could.
That's the end of the No, because I've been so I have had friends get set up for roast battle. I haven't done a lot of comedy this year just because I moved around a lot last year and I'm kind of like resetting some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had friends that are doing roasts, and I've learned this past year that I'm really good at writing very severe roasts about
Mm-hmm.
people.
Did you write one for me?
I remember writing a couple old ones for you.
Do you want to hurt my feelings? It's live on camera.
Yeah,
Do it.
you saw.
Fuck!
No, because the ones I can remember are so specific to like what was known about you at the time. Like,
Yeah.
are you switching glasses to cry?
No. No, keep going.
I'm trying to think of. I think I cannot remember the structure of it, but there was one that was a joke about you being a golem made from masa because you're half Jewish.
Yeah.
That's the joke. But you're a great roaster. Can you think of something for Josh off the cuff?
I'm off camera. Okay, go for it. I'll post a picture of me.
Blonde. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His pale white skin.
Oh, they're gonna feed the rumors.
That's such a funny. For the
Yeah.
first year that we did it, no one saw what Josh looked like. Everyone thought he was a white dude.
Really?
Yeah, someone commented and said that I couldn't say what I was saying because I was white passing. I was like, you've never even seen me before.
Yeah, he's like so.
You don't look white passing at all. You look Jiffy Lube employee passing.
Okay, well that's cut.
You look like white passing you up for a job interview.
Ooh, that's pretty good. The only white passing you've got is a pair of Air Force Ones.
I wish I did. I used to when I was young.
Yeah?
Of course you did.
Why do you not have them anymore?
They don't fit. They didn't fit me anymore.
Why don't you buy a new pair?
I just stopped wearing Air Forces.
Why?
The association.
You stopped having that hood in you?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, everyone just looks at me and they think I'm hood for some reason.
Now they follow me around the Container Store.
Until they hear me.
I know, it's such specific references. I worked at a place that required supplies from the Container Store.
They thought he was stealing containers.
It's not just containers. They sell like knickknacks.
Yeah.
Patty wax.
It's also give a dog a bone.
They sell dog bones.
It's the easiest store to steal from too, because you just really have to steal one big thing and fit a bunch of smaller shit inside of it.
hilarious.
No, the Container Store is kind of just like if Office Max was also Walgreens.
That's pretty good. If I was gonna roast you, I'd be like, you're a bitch.
Can I borrow your sunglasses?
Yeah.
Breaks them.
I know. I'm not gonna put them on.
Okay.
Well, no, yeah, I did a bit where like I used to do a bit where, because I've gotten good at it in the last couple of years. I used to do a bit where I did no, just kept doing. Where like I was better at coming up with fat jokes about myself than people trying to make fun of me on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
There was one where it's like, I'm so fat I don't have back pockets. I just have more side pockets.
That's pretty good.
You're just talking about like pockets of skin.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
That's
guess that was
fucked up.
too mean. That was too mean.
It's fucked up. Well, because you can't see him, but he's thin passing.
I am not thin passing.
You pass for thin.
No, dude. No, I do not.
You could.
You pass on anything that makes you thin.
Yeah, there you go.
You fat bitch.
Roasted.
Oh my god.
Well, it has been
Well, this
great.
has been great.
Yeah,
It's been fun catching up,
Yeah.
it's been good.
telling you all the new things I'm good at.
Yeah,
The
blowing
Mickey Mouse.
balloons.
Honestly, it's a funny thing when I run into someone that I haven't seen in a while where I want to tell them about everything I've learned since we last saw each other.
That's
And I made it work. The balloons, the Mickey Mouse, animation. I got it all in there.
You did it.
I feel accomplished.
Most
We
of
did
that's
it.
getting cut.
Oh,
I'm just joking. I don't know yet.
It would be funny to
45.
it would be funny to cut all that. So I'm referencing these things they
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
heard of.
let's go for another hour.
Go for another hour. I mean, if you really do want to go for another hour, we could film a Patreon. We could
I'll
film
do
a
a
we
Patreon
can do
episode if you want.
If you want to
We
see
don't
more of
need
this
it.
ridiculousness, check out our Patreon. If you haven't signed up yet, you kind of suck, but
Yeah.
whatever.
If
No,
you want
we love you.
That address, by the way, for the Patreon, it's www.bigoldcocksandicks.com.
I thought you were going to give them the address for the WB guy because you mentioned. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
www.bigoldcocksandicks.com.
from us, I don't book it. I shouldn't steamroll through it. I didn't do if you made it at the end, sorry it took so long, but thank you for sticking out. What's your idea for a roast joke about me? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
Super excited.
And if you have an idea for me, don't say it because my feelings will get hurt.
You can tell it to me. I'll call him.
Mhm.
Bye.